Hello again. Welcome to Crisis Truth in the Philippines. Always bringing you information about the Philippines, what's going on, what's new, what's happening with the vloggers, and all that's going on in the place as it is right now. I'm actually staying at another condo of a friend of mine and just shooting some background footage out the back, and you guys can see what it kind of looks like, kind of exemplifies what the Philippines generally looks like, not your typical waterfront and what have you. It's just like a backyard kind of look with chickens and different things in the back there, banana trees and what have you. So today I'm doing a video pretty much to cover something that I covered before and something that one of our subscribers asked me about. That's the juicy vlog, and I had covered them sometime before, and one of our subscribers had asked me to do something on them. Thanks a lot for making that recommendation. I always do appreciate it. Kudos to you. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. So these guys pretty much were here in the Philippines a couple years ago, and were one of the vloggers, the set of vloggers falling in with Brian Ahern, Brian Smith, Terence Flannery, and the whole batch of the others, and just kind of feeding off of what was going on in the Philippines, the frenzy during the pandemic when everybody was online and trying all how to do all kinds of clickbait videos and all kinds of different things. Well, eventually what happened with them, for those of you who never followed them or knew anything, the female part at Juicy Vlog was 2 people, and the girl ended up getting pregnant, and they left and went back to England in order for her to have the child. And it was kind of ironic that after all the talking about how nice the Philippines was and how much it has to offer, all their clickbait titles and what have you, they decided to leave and go back to England to have the child. But now it seems that after doing all of their traveling and vlogging all over in other places, they have realized that the only place that you can make money is in the Philippines. So they're planning to come back to the Philippines to start doing some vlogging. But actually they're going to have a very rude awakening, because many of these vloggers here are not having the success that they had before. And it's very typical. As I said, you look at Terence Flannery, you look at Brian Smith, these guys are getting views not even in the thousands, sometimes barely breaking 200-300. So the Philippines is not the market it was before for vlogging, and those of us who are doing it pretty much just for information purposes, to bring it to the viewers, for them to see what's going on, get a little feedback of what's happening in the Philippines, not so much for the views, the clickbait, or to make a pile of money, because we have our own job. This is not our job. Vlogging is not our job. So the Juicy Vlogs now are deciding to come back here. I had a chance to watch a couple of their videos. They've been putting them out regularly. They're unimpressive, nothing really to add, and I think this is why they're coming back to the Philippines. And one of the things that has happened recently in the Philippines is that the authorities here have started really clamping down on these vloggers and not allowing them to do a lot of the nonsense they were doing before, particularly walking around shoving a camera in people's faces and just recording them without permission. And also they have actually been taking it very seriously. For those of you who know, this guy Vitali, who came to the Philippines and was doing a bunch of nonsense and actually assaulting police officers, assaulting people, he ended up spending quite a long time in jail. And then just after he came out, there was another vlogger who was also arrested. So a lot of these foreign vloggers who have come here and were doing this nonsense, thinking that they could make a lot of money, now are having second thoughts, because they're wondering if they'll be the next one being sent to jail. And the Juicy Vlog, maybe they're aware, maybe they're unaware, But when they do come, they're going to find out that you can no longer just walk around and record people at random, just shove a camera in people's face and doing those kinds of nonsense. And they're going to end up realizing that the market in the Philippines is not the market that it was before. I also wanted to touch briefly on this clown called Brian Smith, who is still around. I did a video about him maybe a couple months ago when he was building his restaurant, another failure that came along. And then he posted a video saying he was getting off of YouTube. It was going to be one of his final videos and he's going offline, and the whole spiel of his nonsense that he usually spews. But lo and behold, somebody told me, a subscriber told me, that he was actually doing a live stream a couple of days ago. So Brian Smith is not gone, not forgotten, still there, muddling away at it, I guess trying to fool some other unsuspecting foreigners to get involved in some other of his harebrained schemes. And this guy never ceases to amaze, the amount of things that he comes up with, so many ideas. I don't know where he gets these things from. And then he actually gets people who will invest in the business. It fails, they lose their money, he just moves on to the other one, and he continues going on and on. And one of the things that I pointed out before is that the guy, I mean, I'll give him kudos for one thing, being married to the same woman. And I don't know if that is because she has a lack of options, so she decides to stick with him. And then he gives her father, Tatay, some work off and on. She'll work the guy and he exploits the guy to the fullest and maybe pays him peanuts. But I guess in the Philippines, peanuts is better than no nuts. So they have stuck it out, and one of the things is that they had a child, Charlie, and now that child is growing up, and this guy, Brian Smith, does not seem to have any intention to actually make a good impression for the child. He's still doing his nonsense. He's unsecure, going from one harebrained scheme to the next, and then exploiting people, outsmarting people, being on YouTube like a vagrant begging. And I don't know if that is what he wants his child to follow. So who knows, maybe in the next 10 years, you're going to see, rather than Brian Smith, it'll be Charlie Smith begging on YouTube with some bunch of harebrained schemes and doing a whole bunch of nonsense. So I wanted to touch on him a little bit because he still seems to be around. Some of the others, I don't even bother. As I said, like Brian Ahern and Terence Flannery, these guys are all but gone. They're still doing the same nonsense, but not much traction, so it's not even worth making a video about them. But as I said, a subscriber asked me to do this video about the Juicy Vlogs, and I thought that I would in fact do it because, as I have said before, I value my subscribers. And once you write comments, I do reply to the comments. Once you make recommendations for videos, I do make sure and do the videos. Sometimes it takes a while because I have other things going on, but I do in fact do it. And as far as the comments, I do get around to replying to them. There's still a bunch of trolls there, also still trolling and putting a bunch of nonsensical comments. I still entertain them. I thank them for their comments, so I appreciate at least they're watching. So if they take away one iota of information from it, it's better than nothing. But a lot of them trolls who probably are set up by Brian Smith and these others who think they'll get this channel gone, which would not happen. But I still continue and I keep going at it. So again, thanks a lot for watching. I really do appreciate it. And again, I'm going to be trying to do most of the live videos. A lot of people have said they prefer me talking rather than the AI, and I do appreciate that. I do actually think it's a good suggestion because I myself, there's many videos that I'm watching on YouTube, and as I mentioned before with Three Eye Atlas, Mikhail Kaichu, and a bunch of them. But there's so much of these AI that you don't know what's real and what's fake. So I really do get upset sometimes when I'm watching videos and only to find out it's AI, and you only find that out when they have to pronounce something. So, for example, with 3i Atlas, you'll find that you may think you're watching Avi Loeb or somebody talking about it, but then when they talk, the AI talks, it'll say 3i/Atlas. So you realize it's AI, and it does upset me. So I think probably a lot of people are getting upset with the AI because they want that real connection, to hear a real voice, hear the mistakes, see when we fumble in talking and what have you. So I think this is what I'm going to be doing moving forward, mostly live videos, and bring you guys what you want to hear. So again, thanks a lot for watching. I do appreciate it. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Do share the video so people can get the information. Also, so the algorithm will get the video to the right people. Thanks again. It's a lovely morning here in the Philippines. Everybody have a great day wherever you are.